Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by my shop and visiting my channel. I really appreciate your time, and as you see I got some tooling here to talk about and hopefully get you a little machining in this this episode. But let's start with what I got there. Well, that's the old Screwy ball right here. Did Chuck end up getting a good deal? I don't know if you can see that, but the old Screwy ball nose says yes. So my good buddy Carl sent me a email the other day about an estate sale, and it started on Thursday, and you'll find out a little later in this video why I could not attend on Thursday. And Carl went on Thursday and he said, Chuck, it's amazing. Said, so I said, well, what was there? And he goes, well, there was some AXA tool holders. Well, I went on Friday and assumed that there would be nothing there. Interesting enough, this was a gentleman. I assume he was single, or maybe his wife had passed. He had just passed on. A two-story house. The upstairs was a master bedroom. That was the only thing upstairs. In there was his bed and dresser. The rest of the house downstairs, although I didn't see it, but it was described to me, there was no furniture. The complete house was full of tools. Mostly import. And he had a Bridgeport, and he had, that was still there. He had a lathe, a Logan lathe. But if he had one of something, he had three of something. They had to take the majority of the stuff and put it out in the backyard just so you could walk through the house, which was still a maze of tooling. So anyway, I went there Friday and was pretty amazed that the AXA tooling was still there. It's not a Loris. It's phase 2 is the majority of it, but pretty happy with my purchase. Basically $10 a holder. These run maybe on sale. You can get them around 20 bucks. So not a super savings, but included with the different tooling that's involved with it, not a bad buy at all. If you guys are familiar with this guy right here, diamond tool holder, where you grind it, the high-speed steel bit. That holder right there is a $100 holder, so to pick that up for 10 bucks, not a bad deal. Got a clamp type knurling tool, not bad, and this boring bar is a USA boring bar. It holds the triangular type, so not a bad selection at all. The guy had actually a couple of his grinds on his high-speed steel are just really nice. So anyway, I bought that, the Noga, some small vice clamps, and picked up this servo for the mill. And I looked it up real quick. These things are quite expensive, and I thought I was buying one for my knee on my mill, which really made me happy. And when I called Servo and asked them about it, they said, yeah, that'll work on your knee. And she goes, well, which one do you have? And I said, what do you mean, which one do I have? And she goes, well, which way, she goes, look at the front of the unit. Which way do the arrows point? And I went, well, they point left and right. She goes, yeah, that's not a knee unit. It'll work on a knee, but it's not a knee unit. It just means it'll be pointing the wrong way. So old Charlie learned something right there. The good thing is that even if I don't install it on my knee, my current drive on my mill is import, and this would be one hell of a replacement if that one ever takes a dump on me. So real happy with the purchase, and I think what it helped achieve my luck was this little guy. This was a gift from my buddy Mike O'Connor. Another little 8-ball thing, 8-ball cane. Thank God I don't have to use it yet, but I think rubbing it got me a little more luck. So nice, nice purchase there. I'm actually, this is Saturday mid-afternoon that I'm filming this. There was a Hoyer lift, which is a lift for picking somebody up out of a bed. Brand new. The fellow had bought it just before he passed away. I talked to him about trying to buy it for my son Tim. There's times when we need to lift him, and my wife and I are getting a little too old to do it. And I've been actually planning and designing a ceiling mount lift that I was going to build that would be on a trolley and a swing. If I can pick this guy up cheap enough, then I will modify it and make a post stanchion on it where it can turn. That's my plan. So going to go back, and today's the end of the sale. I doubt that anybody's going to buy it. I asked if they wanted to donate it to me for a handicapped son. He says, I got to get something for it just for the seller and make me an offer. And I said, well, I'll talk to you late Saturday afternoon as the sale ends. If it's still there, it's still there. If I get it, great. If I don't, I'm not going to lose sleep on it. Okay, that's it for that. And one other item. Hopefully this will show up. Keld Keld is in Sweden, and his website is there along with his channel. And this is his blow up of his sticker. He since he's in Sweden, he's Sweden or Denmark? I'm having a brain fart. It says Swiss quality. Keld Sorensen's. So anyway, go to visit his channel, please. He does a lot of great things. I really enjoy having a friendship with him. We go back and forth a little bit. And if you have a sticker, he has a digital sticker wall, and you can send your artwork to him. It'll end up on his website. That's his sticker wall. So go see Keld, great guy. All right, let's see what else I can entertain you with. Okay, just a short preface of what's going to be following here in the video. First off, all you fans of Howie, you might want to stick around to the end, and but don't have your pup or your dog with you. Might get a little jealous, so don't let them see the little short video. And what's following here, I just want to give a little preface. My buddy Dale contacted me to build some parts for his Rose Lienhard Lathe. I've shown it passed in Tool Time 2035 and an earlier one than that. So he's sent me some drawings, brought some drawings over, and it's the start of going ahead and getting the build started for him. So that's what's going to be following here. Hope you enjoy. Well, here's the drawing that Dale gave me. That is the tool or a rocker that will be part of his machine.
All right, this is a Lienhard Rose engine, and what that means is it's got rosettes here. These are called rosettes. They're like cams, and the head of the lathe here is on a pivot, so it can move back and forth. The shaft is also is able to slide back and forth in this direction, so it can rock and pump. And that's done by springs. There's a large spring over here that for the rocking motion, and there's another spring in the back for the pumping motion. Okay. And then the rosettes move the head, and the spring moves it back. Is kind of the way it works. This machine is hand cranked. Crank it by hand. Or I have a motor down there that I can attach the motor to and turn the speed down to a couple RPMs per minute. This machine was made in 1919 by the Lienhard company. It's a Swiss company. They were used in the jewelry industry in the 20s and 30s mostly. Actually, they date back to the 1600s, but they were mostly used in the jewelry industry. This one was back east somewhere. It was stored in a barn for about like 30 years before I found it, and I had it shipped out here from actually Tennessee.
And I'll show you, I've got this one little part made already, and we'll show you that. But here's the drawing that he provided for me to build the parts. Dale taught drafting in high school for many years, and so he hand drafted it. And I've been just going through the drawing and then been converting it over to some CAD, changing it over to decimal numbers, and just double checking things so I can do the layout and go. So we'll take you over to the little part that I have built. Well, this is the first part that I've made for Dale, and I'm probably going to provide you with a little too much personal information here, but it was very helpful for me to build this. I had to do the prep for a colonoscopy, which, if anybody's done that, you have to drink a gallon of liquid and you run to the restroom quite a bit, and the stuff makes you want to just throw up. So I would drink my drink and come out and work in the shop in between running, but at least got my mind off of what I had to do. So basically a 1/2-inch bar, and I didn't show you any machining here because I was busy. So ended up, took the 1/2-inch bar, put it in a 1/2-inch square collet, put a collet nose. So first I went in and turned it on the lathe with a radius tool and put this radius on the end of the bar, then dropped it in the mill, put this slot in the mill, and then flipped it around, put it back in the lathe, turned it down to size, and cut the 5/16 coarse thread. So it was a lot of fun to do, and it just kept my mind off of what was transpiring. So fun little build. Well, I'm going to work on Dale's project here. So this plate right here, it's a little over 1 inch by 3 3/4 by 4 1/8. He gave me a rough piece of steel, so I'm going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit. We'll fly cut this side. So we're going to square the block up is basically what we're going to do. And got it here in the vise. Get it set down on parallels there. And I don't like that. We're not on the parallel. Hang on a second. Okay, we're back from that. I didn't care for the parallels I had in there. This back one was a little too thin. Get that guy tightened down. Give it a little knock knock. There we go. We're off this back parallel. Liking it. Okay, we're down. And gonna use a fly cutter. And this is a special one for me. I've got lots of fly cutters. This one, my good friend Don Cossett had built it and sent it to me for use in my shop. Thank you, Don. And as I mentioned, I got a lot of fly cutters, but it's really unique and great to use a tool that your friend has built for you. So we'll get that in the mill, and we'll get started. Being you back. Okay, well, when Don built this, it takes a 1-inch shank, so I need to use a tool holder for it. And One of my viewers actually sent me this couple of large tool holders. I can't remember who did it. I apologize for that, but I certainly appreciate it because it definitely added to my arsenal of having tools. And I'm going to move you for a second. As I mentioned, I was hoping for a drive to up and down my table. But the old drill works great. Nice and quick. Let me get it set up here. Well, just for fun, I reground the tool and I put more of a 45 edge on it. That's what my mentor Chewy really likes. I don't want to take a ton off of there, so I just scratched it basically right there, but I'll make another pass. We'll give this a try. Okay, that gave us a real nice finish there, and the parts, this will be cut out, so I don't have to take all that out of there. So get it turned over to the next side and keep on squaring. Okay, we'll get the next side set up. So got it sitting there on a parallel, and we're going to get a screwy ball on it. Nice big screwy ball. Ready to clean that face off. Get some tooling in there, we'll go for it. Trying a little different cutting fluid on it. It definitely likes it. It's what is this stuff? Trim salt. Okay, flip the part over end for end, cutting the opposite end now, the opposite side. The first side that was milled is against the face of the jaw, and we'll get this guy squared up. Well, it's Sunday morning, and basically the plate is squared up, and you can see there's some detail put on it. Well, I got a hold of Dale, and I was having a little difficulty between my CAD measurements of his numbers and what he represented in the architectural drawing here. I wasn't ending up with this almost, it's somewhere around 200 thousandths, 250 thousandths wall. And let's click to a photo of the part. Now, the parts you just saw, this cavity sits over that round piece. That's the line of the round piece there. he needs to be able to adjust those inner pieces which push down on the Babbitt bearing, and then these outer ones are what are going to hold it down. So as I was doing the math, we were ending up with like a couple 30-seconds thick wall here, and you can see it had 15/16 written here, and so we spent quite a bit of time with gauge pins and trying to figure out why, when we looked at the part I showed you, that we could see this gap, yet as we measured, we kept not coming up with the gap per some of the layout. And we finally figured it out that the one, it's offset. It's this piece is not centered, and we figured out that this 15/16 dimensions were incorrect. So visually we could see that we should have it, but mathematically we kept not coming up with it, or I was not coming up with it for sure. His drawing is pretty much spot on, but I needed some real numbers to go across. And so we had laid it out here, and by laying it out we finally saw that we had the distance and got the blank's pretty much ready to go. So with that said, I was thinking about it, and I said, you know something, I've got this big chunk of machinable plastic laying in bed this morning thinking about it, and I says, I think I'm just going to build a quick prototype, blow this thing out of plastic real quick. It doesn't have to be super precise, and maybe just come across, don't even put the whole detail. I don't know yet. I'm going to do it. And then I was digging in my drawer when I was looking for that piece of plastic, and I found this piece of Delrin, and the piece of Delrin is just about the right size. So I'm not going to show you any machining on this Delrin. I'm just going to, maybe you'll see a shot of it when it's done, the wrap up of this video, but it's pretty much straight. It's just straight, put a slot in, sawing. It's nothing fantastic. With that said, and then this is going to be a multi-part build on different things. Dale, that part that I showed you, Dale had to take it back and put it back on his lathe, so that's why it's not here. Well, here's the part, roughed it out real quick out of Delrin, and so we'll check it out and see how it fits. In the past, I used to always give my dogs the bone out of a porterhouse or a T-bone. Howie there is chewing on a T-bone, but I don't give him the full bone anymore. After my buddy told me about his dog that took the whole bone and swallowed it, and a couple days later he was at the hospital with the vet. So he gets a handheld feeding here, and I kind of enjoy doing it with him anyway. I get to share the experience with Howie.